As you know, futures trading is very risky. Just use risk capital. Don't let it drive you nuts. I'm giving you all the reasons of what I'm seeing and why I think this is all happening, but I do believe we're getting ready for a possible stronger sell-off as the underlying starts kicking in harder. This last big goose job I think was a complete fraud. We're short up here at 93.50, and I hope they stop this nonsense. Break it down. We'll know if they can break it down under this purplish colored line here. The all-time high, was that it? No, the all-time high is way up here. The purple line is really a key level. If they can
Order
break it down
pending.
under this line, odds are very good of seeing a sell-off. We're actually targeting a possible move down to 68 with 73
Order pending.
as a 10-point kind of goal. We're hitting a 5-point goal now, but we're actually looking for a larger scale sell-off. So with a little patience here, maybe we can get this thing down to break under 81. 81 is going to be really vital. If they can break them under 81, it could start a stronger sell-off down towards 73. Kind of trying to hold out for that, I mean, let's see if we can do that. Right now they might go into chop mode. They should be able to sell them off, but they may play a game of just going into chop mode and not really giving us the sell-off energy we need under this purple line. We'll have to try to sit through it and wait. If you want to take 5 points, you can do that. I don't want to look back and say, hey, we hit our scalp point. I think maybe we should do that today. I really committed to it yesterday, and I'm trying to. When I crunched the numbers last night, the sell side was really strong. I think we're in for a whopper sell-off, and so I'm trying, based on this Nasdaq goose job here, trying to get a bigger ticket off of this rather than just the 4 or 5 points. Right now we're at 6 points. I mean, it's up to you. That's how the room is. You can do whatever you want. You can trade for 1-point moves off my signals if you want. I don't recommend that. But I think they're going to hit them here. The underlying sell side should really be a lot stronger. But this is scary. I mean, it's kind of scary that these criminals would do this on the NAS. Right now, the AD line is only minus 385, but it was minus 700 when they did this goose job, and it's like that kind of scares me a little. I mean, scared in a healthy way that they would come in on this quiet time of the year when even the president's on vacation, everybody's on vacation, lawyers take the month of August off. Markets are still very tradable. There's absolutely no problem there. But that they would take this quiet time rather than just relax and let the market flow. Why not you guys take a vacation? Stop rigging for a while. They come in and just do this massive upside goose. I think frankly, looking ahead, I think it's because they know that the underlying is really bearish. So that if there's going to be a stronger crunch on the downside, they're trying to get the price up as high as they can you know, so that they can, when it does get crunched, at least it was from a higher level. My theory, let's see what happens. Let's see if they're going to let this thing go or not. If they keep pushing and pushing, I don't know why. We could say it's part of the melt up thing, which I had also talked about and forecast, but all I'm saying is a good, honest pullback of a Dow minus 120, 150 with the indexes all flowing in that way. That's the best thing for a so-called bullish market. If it's so damn bullish, why are you riggers afraid to let it sell off? You see what I mean? Does that mean it's really not? Otherwise, why do you have to goose it so hard if it's so bullish? Anyway, it's like you can see here, kind of like an air pocket from 86 down to this top of the opening range in this yellow line at 68. Gee, what a coincidence. You notice how the jam was right up into this air pocket, really extreme, above this purple line. That's wild. DTB's ready to cross over. Hopefully that'll increase the sell side pressure and get things going. That last oil dip, SCO, our double short crude oil, made a new high at 16.98. We're long. What's our average price? 15.74 plus 16.09 equals divided by 2. 15.92 average price. Let's just see if that selling force can kick in. I mean, all I can tell you is I've narrated about all this stuff. It's the summertime. This is the end of the summer. That last hurrah. The underlying is very bearish. The riggers are out of control and the volume's low. Out of very slow volume, these freaks, I call them freaks. What a bunch of idiots. Super slow average volume down here hovering during this period was around 800, 800, and they come in with 2700 It's just like, what are you, crazy? You know, anything but let the market sell off. What is the crime of the market selling off a little bit? Anyway, um, yeah, they had them all goosed up 126 in the Dow again yesterday. It's like a weak sort of melt up, which again we forecasted, but this is just really uh, kind of surreal. So we're trying to get them going. You can see the purplish line that I put in here, and I changed it to purple color so it would really stand out. It's super significant. And notice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quadruple or quadruple or whatever the word is tap, and they can't seem to break 87 here. I think when they finally do, if they do, I hope so, Um, it could be like a watershed move down into this air pocket. Let's see what happens here. I hope so. Yeah, let me show you this news. I was kind of putting that. You know me, I put CNBC down because they're sycophants. They're just blatantly obvious sycophants. Like, watch the headlines. Oh, they change it, and they got the president of China there. That's fine. Counter tariffs. But look at this Elon Musk crap. Elon Musk. Before there was 5 articles on this guy. I'm just looking. They've changed that. Maybe somebody complained and said, "Come on, you guys, don't you have any news? If you don't have news, just put fluffy stories like this guy, the kid driving around his van. Boy, that's big news." I am glad for him. He's making some money, but yeah, okay, they changed it all. They had just like an out of control news thing. These idiots here. Jeez, just puppets of the riggers. What are they doing in the news? Who cares? They're overdone. They're like everybody else. Oh, here comes the Musk stuff here. So we've had 2 so far. And here's Musk again. Yeah, they thinned it out. There was 5 earlier. I was looking at it going, is this for real? Well, they replace it with real valuable articles like this stuff. This is why CNBC. Oh, and this is really important. Did you see this one? The Brady Bunch house is going to be restored, which was I remember when I was growing up when that was on. I thought it was dumb when I was a kid growing up. I never watched that. They're going to restore the Brady Bunch house. Wow. And Last Dance is cool with that. Who cares about this is a financial website for traders and financial people. Unbelievable. So, that's what I'm saying. That's why they try to lull you to sleep when really key stuff is going on. Let's see what old China. We know they're putting tariffs on. Well, guess what? You know what? Tariffs historically are mega, mega bearish for the markets. We're getting, if the U.S. engaged in that, trade war as they call it, I should say trade war. But when you have a headline where China's putting tariffs on the U.S., it's a trade war. Those are traditionally mega, mega bearish for the markets. Well, why can't we get a sell-off? Why are we getting this stuff, you see? So we're just kind of sitting here watching to see if they can break this purple line, which was put on, I think, 3 sessions ago. And isn't that interesting? 3 sessions ago it was put on, and look how significant it is coming in here today. Super significant. It's because of the way I mark things. It's a special method I use for marking levels. It's very simple, but, really works. That's all it counts in this business. Boy, shorting against that run. What a just terrible. Couldn't even get out of those trades. On a quiet, towards the end of summer, getting ready for September here. Didn't even get a chance. Just blow you away. 2,700 contracts. Madness. No reason for it to be choppier. The sell side should be working really good. Oh, can't let that happen. Hey, I'm waiting for this SCO to break above 17. That'll be cool. Let's see if we can get them going on our way to approximately 26 bucks. It's a goal. Somewhere up there is a goal. On a pure numbers basis, if we take our average of 1592 times 60% plus equals, yeah, it's 2547 or 2550. So, you get the idea. Somewhere between 25.50, 27, 26.50. Uh, with crude oil ideally down under 60. And, when we get out there, because that's a pretty solid goal, it could be a bigger move and all that, but I'm not going to. I'll be thrilled if we just get that. That'd be a nice return. Can't even break this market down. So many bearish factors. Hey, there's a trade war out, riggers. Trade war equals bearish, always. Since going back, since the markets began. Who cares what Facebook and Elon Musk is doing? Trade war, bearish, riggers. You know, can't even get anywhere on our trade. We got the 5 point scalp, and in hindsight, I had committed to taking those, but on such extreme moves, you want to trade for,
Order pending.
a similar counter move. And look at this, we can't even get it. They just won't let it go. The dynamic trend bands cross under, and they re-goose it. Anyway. Stay short. We're going to hit this air pocket, and something's going to happen when they break under this purple line. We're back down there breaking it again. Let's see what happens. Waiting to hit that air pocket, and then watch them take off, ideally on the downside, because we're short. There we go. It's always a crash with these riggers. Because they're so dishonest, they create this artificial market. The only thing that can happen ultimately when it does resolve itself is a crash. This crash should be unlike the last few days where they crash, they go choppy. This one really should see the sell side kick in a lot stronger. I can only tell you, the first live seminar I gave back in 2003, I actually showed the whole method for the 18 proprietary indicators. We had a large group, about 80 traders, that came out to San Diego, California. I'd done the whole thing on my own and created this nice workbook and everything. And it was a very effective seminar, and things went well, but in the long haul, everybody's like, well, can I just subscribe to your newsletter and get the calls? I go, yeah, that's what I do, but I wanted to teach you the method if you wanted to know at this seminar. Like, it was kind of over everybody's head. So I learned from that you know, naturally people just want to make it easier. I'm the same way. Okay, hold on a second here. Trying to break this crap down here. What was our goal again? 73 was what I had it pegged at. I think we should be able to get there. See, we're now forming a new potential. We're not quite fully there, but a trend down pattern. And with the underlying of my 18 proprietary indicators, it should really be able to kick in a downside trend pattern. Now make sure you know the 10-point rule here. We take 10 partial on this trade because we're there now at 83.50. So I'll mark a note on that here. Plus 10 partial. All that means, it just reminds me that we were in a swing trade and they hit our normal rule of 10 points partial. I would hold on. The underlying should, today especially, have a lot stronger kick to it, unlike the last previous couple of weeks even. Let me look at my homework here. I can tell you exactly as I'm watching this carefully. I'm watching for this thing to form a trend down pattern here. And we're in a new month, so yeah, this has been a long time building. The last three sessions in this ridiculous upside, it really put my market force indicators into a heavy sell signal. And pretty extreme.
Order pending.
Okay, let me make a note here on this. I'm looking for the market force indicators to aid us in a stronger sell-off today. So we got to be patient. Let's see if this thing can slowly grind lower and start really grinding them lower. We got 10 points on the partial, and we're just hoping these riggers can back off, let the market flow to the downside, stop playing games, and ideally we can get this thing to start working lower, down towards under 80, and then breaking 80. They're back up to this purple line. Let's see if they can fade from this purple line and start rolling back lower.
Order.
Nope. Riggers.
Order pending.
Goddamn riggers. Pardon my language. So disgusting. No rhyme or reason for this kind of crap. Look at that. What, are you going to drive it right back up to our price? What a bunch of jerks. The regulators do nothing. They just sit around,
Order pending.
patting themselves on the back for being real brilliant, and they're worthless. Completely worthless. No rhyme or reason for this crap right now. Look at that crude oil, you guys. Hey, look at that crude oil. Nice boomerang trade here, matching dynamic trend bands. 21 knocks them down to 09. The Nasdaq's just disgusting, but Boomerang works every day beautifully on crude oil. Nasdaq right now is just horrendously disgusting. I don't know what's the matter with these people. That thing should have just started continuing a little bounce in here and then just flowing. They're just trying to block this new sell pattern that came in. Unbelievable. Where did we leave off? We've got two crude oils, one lot. I think there's more. Let's see. I'm going to just review them while I watch the NAS here. Oh yeah, we had this one that got stopped out. Classic boomerang here, two. This is all flat price pressure bands. You can see it's all screwed up. There's no trade here. No pullback signal line here. Look at these jerks. These disgusting rigger jerks. Look at these idiots. How dare they allow this to happen? These regulators, so-called regulators. Now we took 10 points, but it's like what happened Monday. We had this happen several times where they go give us 10 points, holding for and then they blast them 20 handles back. That's what they're doing now. 82.90. They're blasting them 10 back. But okay, then there's this. Lost my count here. So third winning trade. This was the third winning trade here on the matching. No, actually the DTBs did not match here on this pullback. So this one went without us. Happens. Second level trade here. Classic second level trade. See that? Level 1. Counter arrow. Level 2. So that's our third winning trade and roll, and one for a stop out that I just pegged at being 5 point. Look at that. They goosed him all the way. 3 candles all the way back to our entry. What a bunch of pigs. How dare they do this? How dare they be allowed to do it by the so-called regulators that we hire and pay with our money, our tax money? That's what we pay them for? To let these criminals get by with this kind of rigging? I don't think so. Yeah, we took 10 on the partial, so what I usually do is take a third of that and add that to our record. Not much, but because if you're averaging out trades, like say we got out break even, you got to figure that one of those out of say 3 trades, 3 contracts, one of them made 10 points, the other 2 made 0, so that still counts for a gain on the account. See what I mean? I just do that on the partials if we're in a swing trade. Boy, they got such a bad case of sour grapes when the market went. The natural sellers came in and crunched the prices down on that purple line. Let's see if they can get over it. Okay, what do we got? SCO. Makes it so difficult to trade. Give it up, riggers. The stronger underlying today. A lot of times when you get these widespread DTBs, you'll get the counter whipsaw move, which we're getting. A lot of times it goes extreme. I'm just really thinking, and I keep mentioning this, with our underlying indicators so much more bearish today than ever before after the last three sessions, the sell side should really work. It should be not a problem for the sell side to really work. Not just this, but a continuation, sort of like what we're seeing on crude oil. 1718, actually 1720 ask on the SCO right now. I think we're in good shape here. I'm hoping that, look at that. Oh, I forgot to. Okay, so that was our last crude oil. Nothing here. Return to the sell side, matching dynamic trend bands. Short right here. 21 comes down to 09. That's the fourth winning crude oil trade setup for the day. And look at that, man. That's beautiful. That's exactly what we want to see as we take them down. Now they'll start getting headlines, and then the headlines will get people to say, oh, they'll give up. Ideally, they'll give up on crude oil, and that'll be a pile on, and we just want to pile it on down to that under 60 and see if we can get our SCO up to that 26 area, 26 bucks. So far so good. Let's keep it up. Hope it keeps up. And so many times when you'd see NAS and crude oil sync up, oh, not today, they're not allowing that. Hey, NAS, you so often you sync up with crude oil, get the clue. Sell off, losers. Oh, these riggers, God. You see their sycophant people on TV all the time, these politicians and stuff, and they just like, you know, it's really bad. I'm just hoping we can resolve this thing someday. Let's see what else is winning for us of the recommended trades. I'm just checking those out here while I keep my eye on the NAS. And crude oil, of course, too. Let's see what our last... Yep, they're blocking it again, blocking the sell-off. Patience and patience and more patience. Just waiting for reality to set in on this NASDAQ. I don't know why they're playing this game. God. I mean, overall, the market's relatively quiet, other than this goofy NASDAQ. The Dow, down 21. They're using the NAS to kind of stabilize the Dow. But I think anytime it's going to be a sneak down move, or it'll be just a hard crunch on Globex, something, and all of a sudden these stock indexes are going to cave in. So be ready, be prepared. Just looking for little pockets of what's working in the market today on this flat, kind of quiet period. Obviously, NAS is playing games. Some of the NASDAQ stops are going on, but look at it. They've fixed, by rigging it up here, they've improved the advanced decline line, but let's just see here. Watch and see what happens to all this stuff today. Let's see here. One of our longtime reliable recommendations, PayPal, is up today. Yeah, you can see it. Just it's slow time. We'll get through this. They're not trading now, so I can't get our money back if they don't trade. We took 10 points in the partial. We're not, completely unaware that the market was making a strong downside move, but I really think it's got a date with 73 ultimately down there. As soon as these goofy riggers will just sit on their hands and leave it alone, go to the beach or something like normal people, instead of sitting around thinking of how to rig and rip off the public, with their rigs. Look at that crude oil, man. They're catching fire on the downside. Look at that. Woo. It's all downside action today. Hey, you gotta love it when you get the timing, right on a deal like that. Or SCO. Great job, Mohan. Pat myself in the back there. So far, I mean, I always like this creed that it's an old Japanese warrior creed. I think it's from that Sung Yu book or whatever. After victory, tighten helmet straps. In other words, you could just see some really hyper martial art expert Japanese soldier. He's like just has a big victory and takes out an area or something. Then stands up, looks around, reaches up, tightens helmet straps, ready for the next battle. So this is just, the first thing is getting launched out of our 1574 second level recommendation. That's the first key. And then, of course, seeing the riggers not come back in and trying to pound this crude oil back up, which they might. We may have to go through that. I mean, I would almost be sure of that. Look at this. Look at today, though. But you got to at least say for today, you got to admit, uh, not a bad call by Mohan, whatever the heck this was. This is just today's slide, but this started actually on this seesaw here. Is where we recommended it. Crude was up in this area. I actually wrote it down the price when I got in. 69.27. 69.27. Right in here is when I put out that recommendation. And then you can see where the crude oil price has gone since. So literally right after I recommended it, 69.27 area, little wiggling around, little push against it, and then today just getting massacred. And this last leg, look, this is like the last leg is the biggest massacre of them all. Holy smokes. Okay, I got that key level I marked. Remember those? Let me make a note. 6650. Look at that. 6650. Remember, I marked that the other day. We talked about key level. 6650. The first wing lower, and they're going right into it. So let's see what they do with 6650. Wow. Right down to that first level. Next level, 63. Or 6250 to 63. And then under that, ideally, in a perfect world, 62 gets lost and they take them down under 60, and that's where we start looking. Look at that. Wow. So again, we're not trading the big move on the futures, but we're trading it on SCO, which is a double short, which is, the next thing from a futures, or like a triple short. They have those available, but this one's perfect. SCO. Came right out of nowhere. No one's expecting it. Going, gee, what happened to crude oil? That's what we want. And let's look around here a little bit. Let's see if we can start getting some headlines. We want to start getting headlines going. OMG, OMG, crude oil getting blown out. That's what we want to see. Probably not the sycophants, because they've been rigging the crude oil up, and Maybe if it closes on these lows, they'll finally come in. But
Order
not
pending.
expecting much. There's that spike we
Order
need.
pending.
You stupid riggers. What a bunch of idiots. This'll teach them a lesson. Let's keep it going. Okay, last low here. Last low, 82. Look at them blowing that 82 out there. Not quite yet, but let's see if they can do it. Okay, forget the headlines for now. We got a lot of action going on here. This is also part of the slowness. I'm expecting, because of the slow summertime, that my market force indicators kicking in at this extreme should really blast this thing lower. Now we're getting another kick. And who knows the cause? See, you don't know. All of a sudden, you know what I think it is, honestly? The riggers simply sit on their hands and stop playing games. What makes that decision? All that? How the hell am I supposed to know? But all of a sudden, they just decide to sit on their hands and stop playing games, jerking the market up. And if they keep it up, right now we are absolutely right now rolling into a sell down pattern. I think our 73 could be in the cards here. Maybe lower, but the trick is, yikes, where do we um, that's that last dip low. So we got to take this 62 quarter out and blow that out. So that's, at least we got some measure in the middle of this huge air pocket. Let me look for another one real quick. We need that info. See, these fools, riggers, they blew this thing up so hard that it creates this air pocket, which already existed because this number up here. This should be still selling off down here, but they came in with this. We'll watch, see if they can lose 82. The next level, all I can do, let me quickly do that, is run some fibs on this fake ramp up here. Okay, I think it's good. Put these fibs in here while we're tracking this thing, because we want 73. Is it feasible? Full fib retrace, farthest extended fib trace at 71. So my 73 is not out of the question. The full fib retrace is at 76. I'm pegging 73. 71 quarters, a full rate. So right in the middle. I think 73 is achievable. As long as we can lose this 82 and blow that out, take out the center. I'm glad I ran these fibs actually. Take out the center of the fib number here. I mean, take out this Fibonacci at 2 1/4, 82 1/4. Hold them under 82 1/4. Take out the center, which is a 50% retrace, right at this dashed white line, dash dotted. Knock them under 80, in other words. Get rid of the 80 handle, and then blow them out down to 76. That's going to be the full fib retracement of this upside rig here. That's when the question is, and I think, because of what my proprietary indicators say, the market should be in for a bigger shock. Now the crude guys are just coming back guns a blazing because of
Order pending.
the strong down move. Our rule is generally not to take the first retrace. Even on an extreme move like that, still we wait for the second one. But odds are this will come back down and we'll lose this, because obviously we're looking for a move under 60. And the truth is, oh, look at that, look at him taking him right out, taking him right out. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, so now we're short, watching 76. If you trade multiples, take something off at 76, and we're going to hold out for 73, because there should be a lot more selling force in this market here. We're in a new trend down pattern. Let me watch for extremes here. Got an initial extreme here. Takes something off at 76. There it is. Boom. Off at 76 in the fib. And then 73. We're down at 73, 74 here. Let's see if we can hammer them just a little bit lower. A little bit of a washout move lower here. Take them out at 74 or lower. I'm not going to worry about 1 point. I just want to make sure we don't. It's very getting oversold here a little bit on a temporary basis. Let's see if we can get 74 out of the way. Take them out at 74 or lower. 74 or lower. 74 or lower. Come on. 74 half or lower. Right there. Half, quarter, half, quarter. We're done. We're done. We're out.
Target
Half quarter. We
filled.
took them out. And they're probably going to go 73, but when we get them rushing into that area and my hyper scalp gets all oversold, there's momentum here to drive them lower, but I'm thrilled that we're out. We got them out at 4 1/4, 94 or 74 quarter. How do you like that? My forecast worked out great, and the riggers messed us up earlier, but we got them back. We got all that money back from those jerks, and that'll teach them a good lesson. I told you they were going to get taught a lesson today, and where they go now, that's the next phase here. So what I want to do, let me mark a couple lines here. Fib, I don't think we need this one. This is the full fib retrace. I'll mark that. So what I'm going to do now, um, and I'll mark this micro fib just in, well, we got this yellow line here, so we don't need it. Okay. So now we need to go in and remove the fib lines to clean up the chart, because we'll be working off a whole, they practically ran the whole gamut. We have the top of the opening range here. Did they run 73? They did. They went 72.50. Look at that. And I knew they would. I really felt they would, but I don't like taking chances. When my hyperscalp, gets overcooked, my volume moving average got overcooked, I'd rather nip off the trade than, you know, expect my exact number. The 73 was only 73. You know what that was? We got short at 793.50. My 73 was simply, I just pulled my bracket down there because I wanted my 20 points back that the riggers stole from us. Pure and simple. That's all that was. And that's what we got. They got us for 23 points. We got back, what is this? 93.50 minus 74 point quarter. 19 quarter plus 19 quarter. Great job, you guys, if you held that. I know this isn't easy, but I'm doing everything I can to explain to you what's going on. I've seen this before, but this year is very extreme. So I'm doing everything I can to explain to you why it's happening. These are not normal markets. If you're new to the room, this is not in any way a normal representation of our room. We had 83 winning days in a row, just about. It was a period that was about like 8 9 months ago. We finished it up. What month are we in now? It was November. So November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. It's about 9 10 months ago. But I'm saying it's historic. No one's ever had 83 winning days in a row in futures trading. A regular person like me, not, Goldman Sachs, of course, does, but that's because that's a whole other story. But and I haven't heard of them. You'd think if they did, they'd be well, they wouldn't brag about it because people would go, "How did they manage to do that?" But we did it, and we're small time. We're just regular trader with methods and things that really work. We've had many 20-day streaks and higher than that, 30, 15, 5 is normal, whatever. But this is the end of the summer. Even the president's on vacation, and the whole thing is just, you know, rigor mania. But this is what I'm saying, that sell, this is why I was so pissed and shocked by this crap, because I was saying the sell side should really be working a lot stronger here. And we saw that here as they giving them back. So now um, I'm going to just adjust these lines. So you see how they gave us a little roadmap through that air pocket, and that's important. So let me just change these into um, dotted lines, which makes them, you know, part of that air pocket, but they're not as significant. This is the fib number, so I want to make this one, no, this is the fib number. This one should be marked a little more distinctly, and I'll do that by thickening it and giving it a dash dot. It's too thick. Well, it could end up being very significant. Let's see. And this one, 68. These are actually meant to be interchanged. And this one was also, that was the micro fib retrace. So that can just go to a dot line, and I'll probably even erase these, but because they were just used for this run. But my original guesstimate at 73 was perfect. Look, the low is 275. Hey, you do this stuff long enough, I'm telling you, the whole thing, a lot of intuition just comes into working the numbers. You just work the numbers, like going in the gym. You know, you go in the gym, first day there is really rough. First week you're sore, second week you're sore, but you're getting better. Couple years in the gym regular, hey, it's a gym, you know. You know when you if you can do a 250 bench press or not. You know when you should, work the 150. You know, your body tells you. You just know. No, I forget that today. All right, this line is turning out to be significant. We'll leave it in. We'll always remember this goose rig here, really ridiculous. Let's see if they can get this thing to drop. Maybe they're going to do a controlled demolition type of thing. You know, a natural rebound on an intensely sold off crude. I mean, look at that. That rebound just dwarfs what happened. I mean, it's just micro compared to this and this was like a fifth wave. I mean, even more. I mean, based on this exact move here, you can see the Elliott wave. One, very simple two. That means a complex wave four. Two, wave three down. Four, not so complex. Usually it's a little more whipsaw, but nonetheless, a little bigger. And then just a wave five. Just a lot of times, J.S. Eliot used to say wave fives. Sometimes they're just like a wonder to behold because they just like, just smash. And that's what this was here. One of J.T. Eliot uh, wave wonder to behold, fifth wave. So A, B, and then what we want to in Elliott theory, you short a C wave, which would be up around here. We're not going to trade crude that way. We don't trade crude that way. We didn't even take this, even though it's set up right. We did not take this because after a big move, our rule, simple rule, after a big, larger scale move on crude oil, do not take the first turnaround. It's usually going to get whipsawed. This is not a normal market today, but nonetheless, that's the rule. But this is now an A wave, B wave, and you want to short into a C wave, and they're still down here. I'll just mark it for pure textbook, whatever, which you short A, B, you're shorting into a C wave. I'm sorry, B rebound. It should be right about here. It's not that big of a deal. I'm just trying to see how the Elliott wave pattern. Why? Because we're short crude oil, right? So theoretically, if they can bounce them up to this area somewhere up in here, maybe within a range up in here, then crude should go back down near these lows, and because of what we're looking for on a bigger scale picture, should lose these lows and really get hit. Okay, look at that. They're taking this thing down a little more again. We're trying to see if they can work that 71 area. There it is. 71 coming in. Let's see if they lose it and blast them. The next goal ultimately is to plow through these back under the opening range, which will really shove it down the riggers' throats. Hey, riggers, you knew this was going to happen earlier, but you tried to block it by jamming this thing artificially up here with 2,700 contracts in an average 600 contract environment. What a bunch of idiots. Anyway, good luck to you. But the point is, if we get down into the opening range, now we're talking a market that we're talking a market that it's going to be the sell side is going to be taking a little more serious, trading under 65 and holding under 65, because then we're going to be looking at um, a situation where how swiftly they lose the top of the opening range, how quickly they come down here. It's all speed at that point. How quickly they come down here, and how little resistance to rebounds there are, and that's where you start, getting some heavy duty action going, because they start taking them down here and blowing this out, move them lower down here, and that's when we start seeing some more action get going. Mm-hmm. See if we can lose this area. You can see what we get. You can see what we're up against. I mean, I'm talking about a large sell-off, similar to what crude's. Look at that crude. Couldn't even rebound up here. Now they're losing ground again. So let's watch these last lows. And I usually don't mark up the crude charts. I'm just doing it today because we got this SCO going on, and that could last a few months. Let's just be open that it could be a few months. The way we're going now, we're on a good start here. Maybe it'll only be a few weeks, but the idea is the key thing now, if they take them lower and they blow this out, we want to watch for the headlines that show, look at that crude action. Look at that. That's headline stuff. They're crude losing 3.83%. Oh, good timing, Mohan. Good job, you guys in the room here, if you bought that. That was a trade. That wasn't a hedge or anything. That was a pure double short crude oil trade looking for a 60% gain type deal. If we take this out, oh, I was going to do that earlier. Sorry about that. I get a little distracted studying these markets so we can all make money. That's all I care about. Okay, so we're watching this. Good job, man, handing those riggers their heads back. That'll teach them a good lesson. Let's see if we can blow them out into the opening range, take them down lower. I'll be watching. Let me go over here and check a couple other things. But great job on that move and that smash.